Got my guitar, I've got my wine. Where we can go, live by the sea, swim in the ocean.
Hi, welcome to a very exciting episode of Road to Vino.
Oh, I'm a little bit giggly.
Freezing!
You know why? Because right behind us is a very special plot of dirt.
150 years old these vines are, and see that church? That was built by settlers who came out from Germany. We are standing in the vineyard that is called Gnadenberg, translates to...
Hence Hill of Grace. Hill of Grace.
This is the stuff that legends are made of, and this is the stuff that wine dreams are made of. Our wine dream, first cracking wine that we actually invested serious funds with.
Yes.
Justin and I were in Melbourne with our respective girlfriends, about 10 years ago or something.
Yes.
And they were clothes shopping on Chapel Street, and we just could not be bothered trying on jeans and $300 shirts. So we pulled our funds and bought a bottle of Hill of Grace. $500 it was, 1990. One of the best goddamn wines I'd ever tasted. Guys, we're really excited about this. This is one of those great moments that we managed to wrangle in this journey, and we look very forward to it. Come with us while we experience Hill of Grace. Hello. Andre. Johan. Nice to meet you.
Justin. How are you?
Stephen.
Stephen?
Nice
Justin.
Nice
to meet you.
Just admiring your ancestors' beard. That is serious.
First generation there, that's quite a beard.
And got an Abraham Lincoln look about him, hasn't
Yeah.
First of all, we've got to say thank you. We're excited and honoured to be here.
Pleasure. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah. And look, we're in your hands, but we'd love to know all about it. We got our experiences. Obviously, we've had some as well with the wine. But listen, man, I sound like an idiot. I feel like I'm meeting
It's like a giggly girl here.
Well, you know,
Do you want to touch him?
Sorry, I'm babbling.
Well, I guess really we're being fifth generation. We're a bit like curators of a museum in a way. And when you look at the history, the heritage with the generations, I mean, there's a lot of work and a lot of effort, a lot of love and care and attention has been put into the family business over all that time. Yeah. So it's really great for us to have that heritage and that legacy to look after. This is the old two-storey winery building that they built back in the early 1860s. And down here is quite interesting. There's some inscriptions on the stonework. 1901, 1660 gallons. In 1902 down here next to you, 1400 gallons. So it gives you an idea of the amounts of wine they made in those
That's
years.
like a tank there.
Yeah, and that was, we understand that was the original red wine fermenter. And the deer's head is a sort of part of our emblem, but that was shot by my grandfather up here in the woods.
Are you kidding? Wow.
Come on through. So here we have really the some remnants of the wineries that would have been. Sounds amazing, but these gorgeous old stone jars, my grandfather used to fill from barrels, and then he'd put the tag around the top of whose it was and leave it at the local shop down in Cainton on the step for them to collect.
It's like the milk.
It was just a lovely honour system. I don't know how he got paid for it, but I guess he went to church and they probably gave him a few dollars out of their pocket or something or other later on. But it's just a really great old historical way of selling wine.
The origins of the flagon.
Yeah. That old crusher there, that old wooden crusher, was where the first grapes were crushed in those early days. So this is an original piece of winemaking history for us.
How old is this?
This would have been from the late 1800s, made by Howard Bagshaw in Mile End in South Australia.
If worth doing,
Well done.
do it well.
Worked it out.
It's great, isn't it?
It's been restored. It was in pretty rough condition when I found it.
So you found it and...
So it took me a while.
Yeah,
I was
around there.
thinking, how do you speak this language? The slow way.
Bagshaw has always put a little coded message on everything they made.
Yeah.
That's just gorgeous.
I was
Isn't
thinking, is it Welsh?
it? It still works. So we crush some grapes. So turn it. You can see the beaters turning inside and how it crushes the grapes.
Wow.
Right down in here. So these are the original underground concrete tanks. They hold 1,000 gallons in the old money. They're wax coated. Before vintage, guys get down in there. I did it when I was young. Scrape off the old wax and then melt fresh wax onto the walls to seal the concrete.
Sounds
So
hard.
it's sterile. In the middle of summer, it's a sauna down there.
Yeah.
It's hard work. Yo's done it.
See, there is actually a bit of hard work involved in making
There's some hard
it
work.
as well.
Yeah. And then there's an operation here where you basically just wind. That wasn't a part of it. You wind the press down onto the grapes and press out the.
So is this original?
Yeah.
Wow.
Built in around about the turn of the century. And you imagine, they probably would have crushed maybe 100 or 200 tonne in those days, and they wouldn't have done it before breakfast. There's a fair bit of work in terms of all the logistics of hand pickers, the wagons, the horses, bringing the fruit in, crushing the grapes, fermenting it, draining it, getting it then eventually off into big old barrels like these. And then selling it in those gorgeous little pottery jars, the crubs.
Some very happy, very lucky parishioners. By the sounds of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting historically that a couple of things have changed. One is the style of wines changed from fortified wines, or really table wines, to fortified wines back to table wines. And my father was one of the earliest to recognise that table wines are much better suited to this region, this Eden Valley region. The Eden Valley is a higher part of the Barossa. It's wetter, colder, more continental. So it has colder nights and during the summer and during the ripening period. So you don't get as higher alcohol in the wines, and you get much finer, purer flavours in Riesling and Shiraz and what have you. And he was one of the first winemakers in the region, I guess. And back in those days, it was just called the Barossa. And he recognised how important Eden Valley was. He was one of the first to start making red table wines like Mount Eddleston, Hill of Grays, our Eden Valley Riesling, and then finding a market. And the market, interestingly, in those days was a lot of the Europeans who came out after the Second World War. A lot of the Italians and Greeks. They built restaurants, served up beautiful pasta and all that sort of thing, and they wanted wine. And so this wine that my father was making was just ideal for that sort of market. And you look at the food and wine culture we've got in this country now, it's just amazing. And it's all because of that area. And the wine and food industry really worked together, sort of coincidentally, but it's worked together to form, I reckon, one of the best food and wine cultures in the world. So it's nice to be a part of it.
For us too.
Well, it's, thank you for being part of it.
Nice to be here.